All right, everybody. Welcome to another morning of Read Rich and Righteous. My name is Jullien Gordon, author of Rich and Righteous, which is the spiritual secrets and mastering money manifestation in your mind. And we are here 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning, every weekday morning, actually reading the book. The book is over 400 pages, and so we're reading about 3 to 5 pages every day. Why are we reading this book right now? Is because the collective consciousness continues to talk about recession, right? And they want to be in a mindset of scarcity and keep you in a mindset of scarcity. And my job is to make sure that you stay in a mindset of abundance. So we're moving from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness as we go through this journey together. We're likely going to be together all the way through March as we read this book. And today we are on page 83, and we're reading the section, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I got a nudge from God about 4 weeks ago now, and said, read the book out loud. I wrote this book at the beginning of COVID because I knew that the world was going to slip into poverty consciousness and scarcity mindset at that moment in time. And so God gave me this divine download and gave it to me and through me, and was waking up at 3 a.m. every morning and just putting my fingers to the keys, and out of that came this. This book is a combination of the Bible, Rich Dad Poor Dad, As a Man Thinketh, and Think and Grow Rich, all in one book. It is a timeless piece, and when I read it, sometimes I can't believe that it even came through me. I can't believe that I wrote it, and so it was written through me. That's how I think about it. And so we are continuing to read. This book has been a blessing. We've had hundreds of people here every single day going on this journey just to start their day off on the right foot, be reminded of who they are as a God and as a child of God. If you are wondering why I call folks gods, because if you read John 10:34, Jesus says, "Is it not written in your law, I've said ye are gods?" And many people aren't ready to step into that identity because religion has programmed them to believe that they are sinners, right? That's who you are. No, that's not who you are. God doesn't make mistakes, and you come from a perfect creator. So how could you be an imperfect creation, right? So we are demystifying many of the programs that have come from religion and society, especially in regards to how we think about money. Okay. Money is stored energy. It is an inert spiritual substance. Inert means that it doesn't have a charge. Okay. It's an inert spiritual substance. And what gives it its charge, what makes it either positive or negative, is the person who is holding it, right? The person who is holding it, right? And how they use it. So you have the power to give this stored energy life, right? We resurrect dead presidents. That's what we do. And my job here on earth, my purpose here on earth, is to make the righteous rich. The righteous have had hangups around money, again, in many cases due to religion. And we actually need more money to do more good and do more God here on this planet. And I intend to create one of the wealthiest families in the entire world. If I can help 100,000 people reach $1 million in net worth, that would be $100 billion, and we would be the fifth wealthiest family in the world. And again, this is not family through procreation. It's not family necessarily through marriage, though I do hope that some of you get married to each other. This is family in consciousness, meaning that we are aligned around a unified vision, that we are one, children of God, that abundance is our birthright, and that we are here to bring heaven on earth. Heaven is our mental experience of life, and earth is our material experience of life. And when our highest vision of what is possible for our life is not aligned with our outward material experience, that's when we experience hell. Hell is not some place that we go to after we die. We can be experiencing hell on earth right here and right now. So we are continuing to read Rich and Righteous, Spiritual Secrets and Mastering Money Manifestation in Your Mind. It's been, I thank everybody who has continued to show up consistently. You're not doing this for me. You're not showing up for me. You're showing up for yourself. You're showing up for your financial future. And it's going to take us time. I ended yesterday reminding you that it's going to take time to deprogram many of the programs that you had in your mind about who you are and your relationship to money for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So while I do want you to be in an expectation, because we don't know the hour in which God comes, right? The breakthrough can happen for you just like that, just like an epiphany can come for you, right? But I want you to be patient with this process, because we are spending time deprogramming many of the programs that you live by subconsciously. And those are the most dangerous ones, because you're not even consciously aware that they exist. Many of the programs come from your parents, they come from religion, they come from society. And so we are chiseling away. We're chiseling away at that hard rock until we get back to the core of who you truly are. So with that, If you have not got the book, you do not have to have the book to be in this space. This space is 100% free. Okay. All you do have to do is show up to YouTube or Instagram. If Instagram shuts down, if Instagram shuts down, if Instagram shuts down for whatever reason, you can jump over and find us on YouTube. If you would like to get the book, you can go to moneyandmanifestation.com. We're on page 81. We're on page 83 today. You can go to moneyandmanifestation.com. Again, that's moneyandmanifestation.com. When you buy the book, it actually costs $100. Okay, it costs $100. But when you buy the book, you get 5 copies. 1 is for you, the other 4 are for you to give away. That is to stimulate your personal economy by putting you in an immediate state of giving. So the act of just buying the book alone puts you in a state of abundance, right? And if you look at $100 and you say, "Oh, Jullien, I don't want to give up $100," then you're actually communicating that I'm in a space of scarcity. And the reason why is because $100, this is fish. This teaches you how to fish. And ultimately, I want you to be able to make and manifest and multiply hundreds of dollars on demand with the power of your mind, not with your body. Many of us have been taught to trade time for money, right? And that is how you get stuck in the rat race. What we're trying to learn how to do is manifest and attract this, right? And multiply this through our mind. And that's what this whole journey is really about, because that's the only way we break free from the rat race. All right. So again, you get 5 copies of the book. You also get the rituals workbook, which is the exercises that go along with every chapter to make sure that you anchor the knowledge that is here. Okay. The truth alone will not set you free. The truth alone will not set you free. It is acting on the truth that will set you free. Okay. The truth alone will not set you free. Just knowing the truth. Remember, there's a knowing doing gap, right? So a lot of us know better, but we don't do better. And so to anchor this truth into your subconscious mind, I put together the rituals workbook. And at the end of every chapter, there is an exercise that you do in here to anchor these principles. And then finally, you also get the audio book so that while the books are being printed and shipped to you, you can actually be listening along. But of course, we're also here and you can go watch the recordings on YouTube. So if you haven't, if you are a YouTuber, please go over to YouTube, type Jullien Gordon, and you should be able to find my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for those of you who are on YouTube right now, click like on this video and also subscribe to the channel, okay, so that you get notifications. So today we are reading Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, okay? We're on page 83. We're reading Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, okay? All right, cool. Who wants to be a millionaire? The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I need everybody to type that. I shall not want. If you do not get the audiobook, please email support@thefreedomschool.com. It should have came to you via email when you bought the book. But if you did not get it, please email support@thefreedomschool.com. Right now, everybody, please type I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. That's Psalms 23:1. Okay. This is key principle right here. This is a key principle. Okay. Remember that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? If you ask anyone that question, they will likely say me. Okay. Who wants to be a millionaire? Let me know in chat. Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? Let me know in chat. Let me know. Who wants to be a millionaire? Remember that show? Okay. Me. Okay. Listen. But from a spiritual perspective, you should never say, I want. About to crack the code right now, all right? From a spiritual perspective, you shall never say, I want, because that keeps you in a state of wanting. It says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Yeah, we go around here saying, I want this, I want that, I want this. No, from a spiritual perspective, you should never say, I want, because that keeps you in a state of wanting. Instead, we go back to how God operates and we say, I am. We have to become it for it to come to be. We have to become it for it to come to be. Y'all catch that? When you are already it, you are ready to receive it all. When you are already it, you are ready to receive it all. Nike's slogan is just do it, but God says just be it. Money comes easily to people who maintain certain states of being. Plan A is to be it until you see it. You know I love wordplay, y'all. Plan A is to be it until you see it. Plan A is to be it in your spirit, in your soul, okay, until you see it manifested with your eyes. If you know you have access to the storehouse, why would you ever need to beg another man for anything? Instead, you affirm, I am a millionaire, not I want to be a millionaire, even before it has manifested. Saying I am a millionaire pushes your mind to access what it is like to be a millionaire in the present moment until the future becomes your current reality. Think less about the dollar figure, okay? This is key. Think less about the dollar figure and more about who you must transfigure into. Think less about the dollar figure and more about who you must transfigure into. Transfiguration, you know that Jesus went through transfiguration. Transfiguration means a complete change of form or appearance into a more beautiful or spiritual state. You are going through a transfiguration right now, starting with your mind. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your what? Your mind. You can't become a multimillionaire with a W-2 mindset, and you can't have more income without changing your core identity. You can't become a millionaire with a W-2 mindset, and you can't have more income without changing your core identity. A giant redwood tree is inside the little redwood cone. The seed is in the tree, and the tree is in the seed. The thought is in the thing, and the thing is in the thought. The cause is in the effect, and the effect is in the cause. The Christ is in the mother father, and the mother father is in the Christ. The child is in the parent, and the parent is in the child. The $1,000,000 idea or identity is in you, and you are in the $1,000,000 idea or identity. Okay? Look at this. Look at this picture. This is a redwood cone right here. This is a redwood cone. Look how small that is. The size of perhaps a quarter, a nickel or a quarter. Okay? And this is a redwood tree. This redwood tree was inside this little cone. This big redwood tree that this kid can't even put their arms around, not even close. It would take probably 30 kids to wrap around this tree. It was inside this cone. I need you to see that from a physical level for you to understand it, because some of you only see on the physical level. Okay? The millionaire, in addition to everything you want, is inside you. The millionaire, in addition to everything else you want, is inside you, and we must create conditions of success in our mind for it to unfold and manifest as our experience. Affirm this. I want you to repeat after me. I know I can't hear you, but repeat after me. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am already a millionaire in my mind. I'm already a millionaire in my mind. I may not see it. I may not see it, but I believe it now. But I believe it now. In the same way, a seed is called by its finished form. A seed is called by its finished form. I am accepting my divine inheritance. I am accepting my divine inheritance as a child of God. As a child of God. I'm meant to have life. I'm meant to have life and have it more abundantly. And have it more abundantly. My treasure on earth shall correspond directly to the treasure in the heaven of my mind. The treasure in the heaven of my mind. Abundance is my birthright. Abundance is my birthright. Ashe, amen, and so it is. Okay, so Have you ever gone to Home Depot or Lowe's and went to go buy seeds? When you go buy seeds, what you'll recognize is that the word seed is never on the package in bold letters. What is on the package, family? What is on the package? Because it's not the word seed. What image do you see on the package and what word is on the package? It is the finished form. You'll see pumpkin. You'll see tomato. You'll see squash. They don't put images of seeds on the package of seeds. They put the name and the picture of the finished form of that seed. Okay? So even though there are little seeds in this package and that's what you're buying, what they project and what they push forward is the actual image and name of the finished form. So you have these seed thoughts in your mind. You are a seed thought in the mind of God, and you have to be able to see yourself in the finished form right here, right now, despite that you may only physically see seeds in the package inside of you. You might only physically see seeds, good seeds in your life. You're planting good seeds in your life, but you, through your third eye, through your pineal gland, you have to be able to see the full vision manifest and hold that vision, even if the physical form, right, in the heaven of your mind, even if the physical form, your earthly experience does not match that vision yet. The key word is yet, Y-E-T, okay? Affirming I am a millionaire causes you to think about how a millionaire lives, moves, and has their being instead of what a millionaire has or does, which is backwards. See, most of people, when they think about a millionaire, they think about what a millionaire has and what a millionaire does. That's the wrong thing to focus on. What we're focused on is how a millionaire lives, moves, and has their being. We're focused on their inner world, not their outer world. I know what may attract you to be a millionaire is what you see externally. But what we're more concerned about through this methodology and this financial philosophy is that we're more focused on who that millionaire is being inside themselves that is actually creating, that is causing them to do and have. Your being shapes your doing, and your doing shapes your having. So when we're looking at a millionaire that we are inspired by, not jealous, not comparing, we're looking at them and there's nothing to be jealous about unless you have a scarcity mindset. If you believe there's only this many houses that look like that, this many cars that look like this many husbands or wives that look like this, then you move into scarcity. Jealousy is rooted in scarcity. But if you are more concerned with how this individual lives, moves, and has their being, that's going to give you greater access to those things because your thinking is what leads to the things. Okay. As you begin to accept the identity of a millionaire, then you can get more specific in your prayer. What gets measured is what gets done, and how you measure your money and success will determine the type of millionaire you become. In order to even know if you're a millionaire, you have to be able to calculate it. When it comes when it comes to math for millionaires, there are two approaches to knowing if you are a millionaire: the balance sheet approach and the income statement approach. You are the CEO of you, and as CEO, you have to become a better steward of the money that comes to you and through you. Every company, as well as every individual, has a balance sheet and an income statement. The balance sheet measures your net worth by subtracting your assets minus your liabilities. And assets are things you own, okay, including the cash in your checking and savings account, stocks and bonds, and real estate. Liabilities are the things you owe, including your debt, such as your student loans, credit card debt, and mortgage. Lie, L-I-E hyphen ability. Look at this word, y'all. I made it up. Lie hyphen abilities are when you lie about your ability to afford something you appear to own. Lie, L-I-E hyphen abilities are when you lie about your ability to afford something you appear to own. Stop looking at these people on Instagram. They don't own half the stuff that they're projecting out to you. They're projecting. They don't own half of the things that they are wearing, that they're driving, that they're living in. So stop comparing yourself to people's liabilities. They're lying to you. They're lying about their ability to afford something that they appear to own. You thinking that you behind the ball, but if we look at net worth, your net worth is higher than theirs. So do you want to look like you're rich or you want to be rich? You want to look like you're rich, or do you want to be rich? When you see things on the gram, you don't know what anybody's balance sheet looks like. You don't know what anybody's net worth looks like. That whole lifestyle could be funded by pure debt. And while they may take a quick picture and they look like they're happy, they look like they're on vacation, right? When the camera goes off, they're stressing out because it's all based on debt. And they're wondering how long I could keep up this facade to all the people who follow me. Now, I pray that some of the people that you are looking at and admiring, okay, not jealous, admiring and inspired by, I hope that they have a strong balance sheet. I hope that they actually own those things. I hope that they actually can afford those things. I celebrate abundance in all forms. But the reality is we never know. You don't know what somebody's balance sheet looks like, which calculates their net worth. So again, liabilities are when you lie about your ability to afford something you appear to own. In some cases, listen to this. In some cases, a baby born within the last 60 seconds with a net worth of zero has a higher net worth than many adults in debt who have been working for decades. Baby just born at the hospital 30 seconds ago has a higher net worth than some of you who have been on this planet for decades. Make that make sense. That's how you know that the American dream is broken. Because you've been here for 30, 40, 50 years, and yet this baby that was born 30 seconds ago has a higher net worth than you. This American dream, which is really the American nightmare, was designed for you to come in this world with nothing and to leave with nothing. And so we have to break free from that. It's one of the greatest branding situations of all time. The greatest branding schemes is the American dream. It was not designed for you to win. This is why 78% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck in the land of the free. How are we in the land of the free, but most Americans aren't free? That's branding. The reason they call it the land of the free is because they got so much land for free. They stole it. That's why they call it the land of the free, not because of what the citizens will experience here, but because of how they got this space. Louisiana purchased the middle of the country. It wasn't really a purchase, it was really theft. Okay. Page 85, bottom paragraph. The income statement measures your income or cash flow by subtracting your expenses from your revenues. One of the tricks in the American dream is calling your salary your income. We talked about this yesterday or earlier this week. Your salary is not your income. It is only your revenues. For employees, your revenues will primarily be your paycheck. But in the future, it could be income from a business, rents from rental properties you own, and dividends from stocks. In a business, income is revenues minus expenses. So your true income is really what is left over at the end of the month after you've paid all of your living expenses. So again, two people could have the same salaries but different incomes. Listen to this. Two people could have the same salaries but different incomes. Okay. Your monthly expenses include your rent or mortgage, cell phone, internet, TV, subscriptions, food, student loans, car note, car insurance, gas, parking, car maintenance, health insurance, entertainment, credit card payments, personal shopping, and other daily needs. You want more money left over at the end of the month, but most people have more months left over at the end of the money. Okay. So again, two people making $100,000. Okay. That's what the United States calls your income, but it's not your income. It's just your revenues. One person lives off of $90,000 a year. That's all of their expenses. The other person lives off of 60. Who has the greater income? They both make $100,000. The person with the greatest income is the one who makes 100, lives off 60. They have $40,000 in income per year. The person who makes 100 but lives off of 90, they only have $10,000 in income. They don't even make $1,000 a month. When you get to the true definition of income, that's how you have to look at it. Okay. With enough time, vision, aligned action, and consistent belief, anyone can achieve wealth. I believe that. If you've invested $1,000 per month at 6% for 30 years, you would have $1,015,590. That's literally a formula for you to become a millionaire. You invest $1,000 a month at 6% for 30 years, you would have over $1 million in cash after 30 years. Okay. And 6% is a very conservative rate of return. How many times have you pursued a get rich quick scheme that didn't pan out? Let me know in chat. How many times have you pursued a get rich quick scheme that didn't pan out? It's okay. You can be honest. How many times have you pursued a get rich quick scheme that didn't pan out? Let me know. Just type the number in. Just type the number in. How many times have you pursued a get rich quick scheme that did not pan out? Two, too many, three, four, two. So a lot of people have tried times, okay? I find that those who rush the process never reach their goal. Those who rush the process never reach their goal. Their impatience, likely due to comparison, overcompensation for past mistakes, and false timelines, keep them going in circles. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Lay out the plan and take your time as you buy back your time. If you're not committed for a decade from the start, then don't start. Okay? This is how you avoid getting caught up in get rich quick schemes. If you are not committed to it for a decade, then do not do it. If you are not going to commit to it for at least a decade, then don't do it. Okay? What did Biggie say? He said, only make moves when your heart is in it. Only make moves when your heart is in it. Okay? There are 7 types of millionaires based on varying degrees of net worth and cash flow that I want to walk you through right now. Actually, I think we're cutting this chapter in half. We are what, 4 pages in, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have tomorrow. Do I want to go into how y'all feeling on time? We 30 minutes in. Yeah, let me just keep going. YouTube, you say the audio is cutting off. All right, somebody said that they exited and came back. YouTube, you saying the audio is coming, getting choppy. People said that whoever's said that, they said they logged off and came back on. Candace, you jumped off and came back and it's still choppy. Let me see my internet connection. My internet connection is strong. If the audio is good for you, type good. If it's bad for you, type bad. If audio is good for you, type good. If it's bad, type bad. All right. So for most people, it looks like it's good. I know some people have a different experience, but for most people, it's good. So I'm going to keep on going. If it's bad for you, please go over to Instagram. If it's bad for you, go over to Instagram. If it's so choppy that you can't comprehend what I'm saying, go over to Instagram. Okay. This is why we have backup. All right. Cool. So I'm going to keep going because we're only half an hour in. And so I want to finish this section. I was going to break this chapter up into 2, but let's keep it going. All right. Because the energy is strong right now. So we're going over the 7 types of millionaires. Okay. Because some of you might be millionaires and not even know it. But it all depends. What gets measured is what gets done. So it depends on how you measure it. Okay. The first type of millionaire is an earned a millionaire. Earned a million. How do you do that? You do that through a job. Earned a millionaire means that you've earned $1 million throughout your lifetime. Anyone working a minimum wage job, see, listen to this. Almost everybody becomes an earned a millionaire. Almost everybody. Anyone working a minimum wage job will likely become an earned a millionaire. If you make $25,000 per year for 40 years, that is $1 million, family. You will have earned $1 million throughout your lifetime, but you likely don't have much to show for it. There's a reason they call ordinary income earned income. Listen to this. Earned income is money that you have to work to death for. When you cremate somebody, where do you put them, y'all? When you cremate somebody, where do you put them? When you cremate somebody, where do you put them, family? You put them in an urn. You know I love wordplay, right? That you can see in the book. Earned income, URNED, is money that you have to work to death for. Earned income is money that you have to work to death for. That's the type of income that many of you are making right now. It's earned income. You will never be entirely free trading time for money. Instead of busting your butt all of the time, you have to earn income by making your assets work for you. Earned income is the most taxed by the IRS. Earned or ordinary income that you get from trading time for money, the most valuable thing for the least valuable thing, is the most taxed by the IRS. But worse than that, earned income is the most taxing on your soul. Earned income is the most taxing form of income on your soul. Forget the IRS. How is that affecting your soul? The rich and righteous don't work for money. We make money work for us. That is the journey that all of us are on, is going from working for money in that mindset, that W-2 mindset, to making money work for you. Okay. The second type of millionaire is a home equity millionaire, meaning that most of their money comes from the equity in their home. This means that you've achieved a net worth of $1 million primarily through your home's equity. Home equity is your home's market value minus the remaining mortgage balance. It is a result of organic appreciation, forced appreciation, and principal paydown. Researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis looked at the 2016 survey of consumer finances, and they calculated the residential share of a household's total wealth, and the median U.S. household had 68% of its wealth stored in their primary residence. So many people in the United States who bought real estate, even single-family real estate, a long time ago, right? And it has appreciated, it was inherited, etc. They have their net worth tied, 68% of their net worth tied into the walls of their home. Okay. It is a blessing to have your house appreciate, but that equity is stuck in the walls of your home unless you use it through a home equity line of credit, home equity loan, refinancing, or selling. So that net worth is there on paper, but it's stuck in the walls of the home. Most Americans call themselves homeowners when they are really not. HGTV will fool you because you don't truly own the home until it is paid off in full. You don't truly own the home until it is paid off in full. Okay? On top of that, most Americans never actually own their homes because they tend to refinance their homes to buy lifestyle liabilities and many elder folks get caught up in reverse mortgages, which eat away at their equity, leaving them and their heirs nothing when they die. Okay. The third type of millionaire, okay, is a paper equity millionaire. That is stocks. And one of the greatest examples of this right now is Kanye West. Okay. On paper, he was a billionaire. Okay. On paper, based on his equity share in a company. But we saw what happens when you speak truth to power, right? When you speak truth to power, you can see how quickly paper equity millionaire can erode. Okay. So paper equity millionaire is primarily based on stocks. This means that you've achieved a net worth of $1 million primarily through investing in the stock market individually or through your 401k. This is great because while you may have worked for the money you put in, you didn't work to make it grow. The S&P 500, one of the major stock market indexes, has had an internal rate of return of 4.77% between January 1st, 2000 and December 31st, 2020. Growing from $1,469 to $3,732. See, a lot of people think that the stock market grows by 10% per year. It's not true. I actually ran the numbers. And the S&P 500, which is a major stock market index, okay, has only grown by 4.77% over that 20-year period, okay, on average. If you've held the stocks for over 1 year, you won't be taxed with a heavy capital gains tax. However, that gain is not realized until you actually sell the stock. Until then, the wealth is unrealized and just on paper. Okay, so that's the third type. Fourth type of millionaire, cash savings millionaire. Okay, this is your savings account. This is the type of millionaire most people envision. This means that you have amassed $1 million in cash and can see 2 commas in your bank account. This is a significant milestone, but we know that cash is trash. So hopefully this is overflow after investments in other assets, or you are getting ready to invest it soon. $1 million cash in a savings account at 0.03% interest only yields $300 per year. $1 million in a Bank of America savings account is only going to yield you $300 in interest per year. What is that? That's $25 per month. $1 million saved. They're lending out that $1 million, right? But you're only getting $25 a month to leave it in there. This is why you can't save your way to wealth. I know you can invest it in a way that will yield much more than that. It's a numbers game, family. It's a numbers game. The fifth type of millionaire, okay, is a company job revenue millionaire, okay? This likely means that you created a business that has revenues of $1 million per year. It is rare to have a job that produces $1 million a year in salary or revenue, but some C-suite positions like this exist. Revenues are not income, remember? You may have $1 million in revenues in a business, but your profit margins may only be 25%, meaning that your income on that $1 million was only $250,000. So when you're watching these entrepreneur podcasts and they're like, oh yeah, I made $1 million this year. Look at me, I'm out here balling. They didn't keep $1 million, y'all. Now that's something to celebrate. To create so much value in the world that customers were willing to give you $1 million, that's absolutely amazing. But that does not make them a millionaire. Especially if it's a personality-based business, that does not make them a millionaire. What you have to look at is their profit margin, and that's behind the scenes, and you'll never know what that number is. So if they made $1 million, but their ad expenses were $500,000, right? And then they had other overhead of $250,000, they took home $250. $250 is still something to celebrate. $250K that you created from the power of your mind is still something to celebrate. But don't let people fool you by telling you, oh yeah, I made $3 million last year. Wait, is $3 million your revenues? Or is it your actual income? They never say that on the podcast, family. They won't tell you. They like to throw out the big number, right? They'll never tell you on the podcast whether that was their revenues, right? Or whether it was their actual income. So again, you got to stop comparing yourself to people that you see on the internet. Comparison is the number one killer of happiness. Comparison is the number one killer of happiness. But when you're walking in your God-given purpose, there's nothing to compare yourself to. You are 100% unique. There's no other being like you on the face of this planet. So what are you comparing yourself to? Yeah, there may be people who are similar to you in a similar lane of business or whatnot. They still don't compare to you. Let's just do this exercise real quick. Let's list all the hamburger and fries places in the United States. Let's just so you can see tangibly that there's no such thing as comparison. It is all in your mind and it's limiting you. Let's list all the hamburger and fry places in the United States. We got McDonald's, we got Jack in the Box, we got Wendy's, we got In-N-Out Burger, right? We got what else we got? We got Five Guys, we got Nations, we got Burger King. Who else we got, y'all? Just keep running down the list. How many hamburger and fry spots are in there? We got what's the one? Checkers, Sonic, White Castle. And all of these are multi-million dollar, even billion-dollar companies. And now if Burger King would have looked at McDonald's and said, oh man, I'm comparing myself to them, there's no market for me. That shows you that there is way more than enough, family. How can you have all of these hamburger and fry places? Not just 1, 2, or 3. How can you have all these hamburger and fry places, okay? And they're all having abundance, experiencing abundance. What's the one in North Carolina? Not Piggly. That Piggly Wiggly is the grocery store. What's the one? Hardee's. Hardee's. Right? And then you got these niche ones coming up like Habit Burger and things of that nature. Smash Burger, Shake Shack. Like the list just goes on. Yeah, here you are comparing yourself, thinking there's not enough. Okay. So, but the way companies are okay. So back to $1 million in revenue, but only 25% is actual profit. But the way companies are valued by a potential buyer is that the buyer pays a multiple of revenues or income. Okay. So if you want to sell your company, let's say you have a laundromat that's or a chain of laundromats that's yielding $250,000 in income per year on $1 million of revenue. Somebody who wants to buy those businesses from you, they will come to a valuation of that business by either a multiple, like they'll say four times revenue or 10 times profits or something like that. So typically, so if the typical multiple for a company like yours is 4x on income, your company is worth $1 million, even though the annual income is only $250,000. Okay. At that point, you are a paper equity millionaire if you own 100% of your business. Okay. So that's the fifth way that you can measure. That's the fifth type of millionaire. All right. Number 6, company or job profit millionaire. So this is similar to company or job revenue, except now we're really focused on profit. This is similar to a revenue millionaire, except it focuses on profits or income. A company that profits $1 million per year is typically more valuable than a company that only generates $1 million in revenues. Okay. I say typically because other factors like scalability, competition, and market trends can affect a valuation. All right. And then number 7, this is the one we want. Okay. This is the one we want. Asset generating millionaire. This means that your assets are generating millions of dollars. Okay. This means that your assets are worth over $1 million and generating at least $100,000 per year in passive income, whether you decide to work or not. For $1 million to produce $100,000, that is a 10% return on investment. Okay. You've amassed enough cash flowing assets that produce enough income to cover your cost of living. Cash flowing assets are the key to financial freedom. A single family home equity millionaire may have a lot of equity, but it is not a cash flowing asset. A multifamily home can have equity and be producing cash flow. This is the difference between generational wealth and regenerational wealth. Generational wealth is typically only passed down to one generation, okay? And then that generation usually blows it and it's gone. This is why 80% of millionaires did not come from a family of millionaires, okay? What we're trying to create is regenerational wealth. And when you're passing down cash flowing assets to the next generation, to your heirs, they typically won't want to give them up. Because when they actually decide to sell grandma's, they're not going to sell grandma's house if grandma's house is actually putting money in their pocket. They sell grandma's houses because grandma's house has property taxes, it has insurance, and it has maintenance. So grandma passed on the house, the single family house, but it's actually costing them. And so when something is costing me and I don't know what to do with the equity that's in the property, then we're going to sell grandma's house because I don't want $500 a month to be pulled out of my bank account just to keep grandma's house. But if grandma's house was giving me $500 a month, right, automatically for the rest of my life, then I'm going to keep it. This is the difference between generational wealth and regenerational wealth. That is a language pattern that I created. Regenerational wealth. And remember, we are seeking to enter into the asset class. There's a lower class, there's the middle class, there's the upper class, okay? But the only class of people in the United States that is truly free are those who are in the asset class. That's another language pattern that I created. The asset class. Stop aspiring to be in the middle class. Why would you want to be average? Okay? Stop aspiring just to have the highest paying job on the corporate ladder that doesn't reach your full potential. The top rung of that corporate ladder does not reach your full potential. Your full potential is way up there, but you climb into the top rung. You still haven't reached your full potential, even if you're at the top rung. Okay? So what we're seeking to be is in the asset class. We're on page 89, bottom paragraph, right? You can create whatever life you want to the extent that you believe it is possible. First, it requires you to decide to be a millionaire, or better yet, recognizing that you are already one, and then getting specific about the type of millionaire you want to be. We just went over 7 ways to think about it. The suffix, okay, meaning the ending of the word decide, means to cut off. The suffix of the word decide, meaning side, means to cut off. Okay. When you make a decision, you cut off anything and any thought that contradicts your identity. You've heard of words like pesticide, homicide, genocide. If you look at those words, they're literally about cutting something off, cutting off a race of people, cutting off your own life, cutting off the life of a plant. Pesticide, homicide, cutting off somebody else's life. Genocide, cutting off the whole life of a race, right? Of people. It means to cut off. So the word decide means that you are deciding to cut off anything, anyone, and any thought that contradicts your identity. So everybody get your scissors. Everybody get your scissors. It's time to go pruning, family. When you prune, you're not pruning to cut something, you're pruning to stimulate growth. Some of you need to prune things in your life. Some of you need to prune habits in your life. Some of you need to prune people in your life. And some of you need to prune certain thoughts in your life. Right now, we're focused on all the internal. We're focused on the thoughts and the false beliefs and the lies that you have about who you are. We're starting there. We're starting in here. Remember, we're gardeners. We are gardeners. So what is one of the tools of a gardener? Shears, right? We getting our Edward Scissorhands game up. We out here snipping anything to stimulate growth. We're not just cutting off to in the form of like cancel culture, right? We are cutting off to stimulate growth. Okay. Once you decide, all it takes is the right thinking, belief, and some time to manifest. Don't let your two eyes blind you from the truth about who and whose you are. These two eyes lie to us all the time. How many of you had your two eyes lie to you in the dating game? How many of you had your two eyes lie to you in the dating game? Everything looked good visually, right? Everything looks good on paper. But deep down inside, your third eye, you could see something that was not right about that person. Not putting that person down, you just knew that they weren't a fit for you. But you let your two eyes deceive you because he looked this good, because she looked this good. I'm guilty of it. How many of you have allowed your two eyes? Stop relying on these two eyes, family. These two eyes only tap you into the physical realm. You have to be able to see beyond that. When you close your eyes, what do you see? And when you close your eyes, how do you see? You see through imagination, and you see and feel through vibration. You see outwardly, you can project through your imagination when your two eyes are closed, and then you can feel through vibration. When you're dating or when you're pursuing anything that you desire, the vibrational match is more important than the visual match. The vibrational match is more important than the visual match. Man, I'll keep it real with you. I thought Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu were going to be together forever. Visually, right? Looked like a match made in heaven. But for whatever reason, there may not have been a vibrational match. And I know they still rock out together. This is not putting them down or anything like that, right? But we rely too much on these eyes to determine our reality. When if we just close them off, then we can tap into seeing with our imagination and actually receiving through vibration. Okay? So don't let your two eyes blind you from the truth about who and whose you are. Your identity comes from within, not from without. Your identity comes from within, not from without. You must become a multimillionaire first in your head and then in your hand. You become a millionaire. So this is why you have to be a multimillionaire. You have to be a millionaire more than once, family. Because first you have to be it in your head before you're able to receive it in your hand. So you are required to be a multimillionaire. You can't just be a millionaire. It just doesn't pop up in your hand. You have to have it in your head first. You are already a millionaire. You're just waiting for the money to catch up to your mind, or your mind to match the frequency of the money. You are already a millionaire. You are just waiting for the money to catch up to your mind, or your mind to match the frequency of the money. Only then will it manifest as your experience on earth. Woo! How was that, family? How was that? All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Um, in chat, let me know what was your greatest takeaway from today's reading. What was your greatest takeaway from today's reading? We covered the 7 types of millionaire. We recognize that the millionaire is already inside of you. Okay. We have to get it in our head first before we get it in our hand. And we have to decide. We have to cut off anything, anyone, and any thinking that contradicts our true identity as a millionaire. Okay. And again, millionaire is not just financial. Okay. When we're talking about abundance, we're not just talking about money. Abundance comes in many different forms in our life: an abundance of friends, abundance of love, okay, abundance of opportunity, abundance of health, okay, abundance of joy, abundance of travel, abundance of time freedom, right? Abundance comes in many different forms. Just one form that we can unify around that's easy to measure. The only reason we focus on this is because it's the easiest to measure, right? But abundance comes in many different forms. Okay. So people are saying that recognizing that I am already a millionaire, earned a millionaire. How many of you like that one? Earned a millionaire. When you work to death for money. This is why it's called an earned, because many of you are dying slowly on the corporate plantation. And slow death is the hardest death because you can't even see it. It's just eroding at your soul every single day. If you just look at your life, how much spunk did you have when you started your career? And now that you're 10 years in, 17 years in at that company, how much life force energy, how high are you vibrating now? Your vibration should be increasing while you're here. But for many of us, once we start working, especially doing work that is not in alignment with our purpose, your vibration, your light starts to dim. It starts to dim, but it's dimming so slowly that you can't even recognize that it's dimming, because it's just dimming slowly every single day. It's just turning a little notch, and it's just getting darker and darker inside of you. And when it's dark inside of you, what happens to your perspective outside of you? Now the world is dark. You having dark thoughts, and then therefore you have dark things show up in your life. All right. So with that, we are supposed to break that chapter in half, but we went through the full thing. I try to get us out of here in about 45 minutes. We're almost at an hour right now. Tomorrow, we are going to cover wealth consciousness versus poverty consciousness. So we'll be on page 92 tomorrow. That section is 4, 6, 7 pages. Man, 7 pages is kind of in between. So we did 7 pages today. We'll see how far we get tomorrow. Okay. We'll see how far we get, because we're actually ahead of schedule now, because I was supposed to break today's section up into 2. So we'll see how far we get tomorrow. We're on page 92. We'll be reading that tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please go set a phone alarm right now. I don't want to bombard you with emails or text messages. So the easiest thing for you to do is to set a phone alarm for 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on YouTube. We are on YouTube and we are on Instagram. If one isn't acting up for you, then just go to the other. Today we had about 400 people. So the community continues to grow, and that is really, really exciting. I know when we started, we had about 100 people, and I don't know if it's because you're sharing. I don't know if the algorithms are kicking in, but whatever it is, I'm grateful to God for the abundance that is before us, right? For those of you who have no clue what you just experienced, we are reading my book, Rich and Righteous: Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money Manifestation in Your Mind. You can get the book at moneyandmanifestation.com. I pinned that link on YouTube and on Instagram. If you're on Instagram right now and you have a computer by you, you can go open it up over there so that the stream doesn't cut off. But when you buy the book, it is $100. I'm just letting you know in advance so there's no surprises. But when you buy the book, right, you actually get 5 copies of the book. 1 is for you, 4 is for you to give away, to immediately put you in a state of giving. Give as you give, you shall receive, right? So we want to stimulate your personal economy by putting you in a state of giving immediately. You also get the rituals workbook, and you also get the audiobook when you buy the book for $100. Okay. So that is my gift to all of you. But you do not need the book. I'm letting you know. You do not need to have the book to join us here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's not required. Okay. This is all off the love, right? But if you want the actual book, you see the wordplay, you see the images that I have in here. You also know that there's the ritual exercises that go with the book. If you want to have a deeper experience, then go ahead and get a copy for yourself and to give to others. All right. I love you and I appreciate you. I wish you abundant and blessed day. I'll be back here 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And then next week, I do have some travel. So I will be posting the schedule. I'll be traveling next week. And, next week is a holiday or unholy day, depending on how you look at it, coming up. So I will post the schedule on Monday because I will be traveling. I'll be in another time zone. And so I'll let you know if we continue. I don't want to break our momentum. So look for me. I'll actually email out the schedule on Sunday or Monday to let you know what days we're going to go. I want to keep the momentum. I'm committed to it. I just need to double check my travel schedule to make sure that I can show up for you. Okay. So again, set the phone alarm for 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Real quick question. If I can't be here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, would you rather skip the day or would you rather me pre-record the reading? Would you rather skip the day or would you rather me pre-record the reading and put it on YouTube? Skip or pre-record? What would you rather me do? If I can't make a day, unless it's illness, and I don't speak illness over my life, but let's say something comes up or I have a flight or something like that, would you rather me pre-record the reading or would you rather us just skip a day? All right, pre-record. All right. So I will try to do that, family. If that comes up right now, I don't see any blockages or any days that I have conflict at this moment in time, but I will try to pre-record. Okay. If I can't make a day, just so that we maintain our consistency, right? Consistency is one of the secrets of success. And so I commit to that. So thank you for letting me know and taking that vote. So Instagram, it won't show up on Instagram. The pre-recording will only be able to automatically play on YouTube. Okay. So if you show up on Instagram and you don't see me, I will likely make a post and say, go watch. I'm absent today. Go watch the pre-recording on YouTube. I'll still release that pre-recording at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And y'all can go ham and chat still, I think, on a pre-recorded video and still have a rich experience, even if I'm not physically present. All right. I appreciate you. Yes, all of them have been recorded. They're all on my YouTube channel, and I do save them in my Instagram stories. But they are on my YouTube channel, all the recordings from when we started about 4 weeks ago. All right. Again, go get the book at moneyandmanifestation.com. Again, that's moneyandmanifestation.com. You missed the Christmas delivery date. For those of you who ordered, we had a ton of orders come through. So we're working on getting those to you. Remember, we do print on demand. So that's where some of the delay has been coming from. But anybody who ordered, we'll try to get them to you by New Year. Okay. So that you can start your new year off on a new financial footing. All right. Much love, everybody. Moneyandmanifestation.com. See you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.